You see why I haven't been recording in here? It's a mess. And yes, that is my wallpaper falling down.
Laugh out loud, love a lot, and shop for what makes you happy.
Hey guys, Mandy here with Laugh Love Shop, and today I thought I would try something different, something I don't usually do, and that's a get ready with me video. This is not really going to be a tutorial because I'm not really all that good at makeup. Particularly still frustrating is foundation, because just about the time I think I figured it out, either my skin tone changes because we go into a different season, or my skin texture changes, or whatever. So that part I'm still frustrated with, but everything else I really enjoyed. This is my caboodle that you might remember from my haul video. If you don't remember that or you didn't see it, I'll go ahead and link it up here. All right, first thing I'm going to do is use some toner on my face. This is Witch Hazel Aloe Vera formula with rose petal, or in the rose petal scent. I don't actually know if it has rose petal in it. Also, I'm going to put a lip oil on. My lips have been really dry lately, I think because we're headed into winter time, so my skin is drying out naturally anyway. But also, I haven't been drinking as much water as I should be. Next, I'm going to use the e.l.f. Eye Refresh. My eyes have been a bit puffy lately. And finally, this is not something that I always use, but this is the e.l.f. Acne Spot Treatment. My face is breaking out. Next, I'm going to put some moisturizer on my face, and this is just a little sample size that I got, either in one of my own subscription boxes or in somebody else's subscription box and they gave it to me. But I really like that it's a gel-based moisturizer. I wish I could find some that's cruelty-free in the drugstore, but I think I'm gonna have to spend some decent money if I want a decent moisturizer. All right, next I've been trying this Milani Prime Correct, and this is in the green one to correct redness. I already struggle with redness around my nose and chin, but I think since my hair is red now, I've been struggling with it a little bit more. This is a dimethicone type primer, so I'm going to try to use it to fill in some pores. All right, now for the foundation. For the most part, I've been mixing this e.l.f. Flawless Finish foundation, and this is in the shade Light Ivory, with this NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop Full Coverage foundation, and this is in the shade Nude, and this is a little dark and yellow for me right now, although in the summertime it was better. And this is a little light for me right now, so that's why I've been kind of mixing them. See, it's not like a summer shade and a winter shade, it's like all the shades in between too, which is why it's so frustrating. I'm gonna start under my nose. As I've been practicing with this sort of my own mixture foundation, I've been realizing that different foundation techniques work better for different parts of my face. And to be honest, I don't put foundation all over my face. I mostly just concentrate it like on my nose, and then like around my chin, and also like right here on my cheeks, and maybe a little bit up in here. Forgot to get out a makeup wipe, and now I need to wipe my hands. Guys, these Pacifica wipes, we'll talk about that in my empties video. So that was under my nose, and now I'm gonna get on my nose, and I'm using this Real Techniques Diamond sponge, and I have been finding that with the sponge, it looks better on my nose. And sometimes if I use a brush or even just my finger, I get foundation like in my pores, and like I can see that it's in my pores. Like I have little white pore spots all over. Next, I'm going to go into doing my chin, and I've been struggling with my chin because I have a relatively big chin, and I have a crease right here between the top of my chin and the bottom of my bottom lip, and I find that makeup tends to settle there really easily, and I have not been able to figure out a technique that keeps it from doing that. I'm going to do some on my cheeks right here by the sides of my nose, and I do get pretty big pores there as well, but I'm not entirely convinced that the makeup sponge is my best option for that. So I've been playing around, just trying to figure it all out again. I feel like every 6 months or so I'm refiguring out how I do my makeup. Also, I'm sorry I use my middle finger for everything, but like you're supposed to use your ring finger because it's the most gentle therefore it's the weakest one, and therefore I feel like I have less control over it. And plus, whenever I use this finger, I feel like my pinky is right in my line of sight and I can't see what I'm doing. Next, I'm going to powder, and I'm using this NYX Stay Matte But Not Flat powder. I do use the sponge that comes with it in order to put powder on my nose, because that's the part that rubs off the easiest. But for the rest of my face, I'm just going to take a big brush. All right, in a couple minutes, I'm going to dust off the rest of the powder off of my nose. But for now, we're going to go in with some bronzer. I like to use bronzer, I think how it was probably originally intended, and that was to put on the face where the sun would naturally hit your face. So I'm putting that on the top of my forehead and a little bit on my nose after I dust off the powder. So I'm just going to get this little fan brush. All right, and now I'm just going to take a little bit of the bronzer, just like a couple dabs on the top of my nose. Also, if you do your makeup and you find that once you have the rest of your makeup on, your nose looks white in comparison, just put a little bit of bronzer on it. Next up is blush, and I'm going to use this e.l.f. blush in Mellow Mauve. And I have been working my way through this. Can you see the ridges of the pan underneath? It just goes with whatever I'm wearing. It's like not too cool and it's not too warm. But I also like that it has a little bit of a sheen. I don't know if you're going to be able to see the shift there. You see that? It gives me a little bit more glow. Speaking of glow, I have this little Winky Lux Charm holographic highlighter that I had gotten in an Ipsy bag, I think. And at first when I got it, I was like, oh, I'll just donate that. But then recently I decided to swatch it, and it's coming off just white, at least in my on my phone there. But when I swatched it, can you guys see? It's actually pretty pink, and it just has this sort of like pinky bluey shift, maybe pinky purpley shift to it, and it's really, really pretty. So I've actually been using that. I don't know if this is, oh yeah, it is picking up on camera. There you go, you can see that. That's nice. If you ever feel like you've gone a little too heavy with your blush or it's just not blended out, take your powder brush and just kind of buff it in and blend it out a little bit. All right, that's pretty much it for face makeup. So I'm gonna use this Mario Badescu setting spray. All right, next I'm gonna do my brows. I don't do my brows every day. Honestly, I like my brows the way that they are. I don't think that they're too dark, and I don't think that they're too light. I think that they suit my face. I use hairspray and this little tool, this side of the tool from Real Techniques, and I hairspray my brows. And you might think that's weird, but that's how I've done it my entire life, and it always works. And yeah, it feels tacky for like a second and then it dries. No different than gel. Sometimes I will go in with a product like this. This came in an Ipsy bag a long time ago, and it kind of looks like a marker, but it's not dark at all. So sometimes I will use this and just fill in like the sparser areas. By the way, I have a scar here from when I was a kid and I had chicken pox, and I don't fill that in. Like, does it make my eyebrows look uneven? Yeah, a little bit, but that's part of who I am. My husband has the scar in his eyebrow too, and so does Jason Momoa, so you know, it's fine. Next we're gonna play with some eyeshadow. I'm using the Milani eyeshadow primer. That's the cat digging food out of the big container and dropping it all over the floor. I don't know why she refuses to eat out of her cat bowl. I'm a princess. It's Luna's photobomb of the day. So yesterday I was playing with this L'Oreal Le Palette Nude 2, and L'Oreal is not cruelty-free, but I've had this for years, since way before I was cruelty-free, so I'm not going to waste it. Started with this light shimmery shade on my lid. Also, you might notice I'm quite a bit of a finger painter when it comes to my makeup. For some reason, especially eyeshadow, I just feel like I have so much more control when I use my fingers. All right, now that the lid color is on, I'm going to use the crease shade. And now I'm going to go for this sort of burgundy-ish color. I'm going to put that in the outer third of my eye. And I'm starting off with this flat brush just to kind of stamp where I want the product. And then to be a little more precise, I'm going to use this. It's called a shading brush by Real Techniques. All of my brushes are by Real Techniques for the most part. This one is not. This one is by Lottie London. And I got it in an Ipsy bag. So sometimes shadow has a hard time sticking, like right here on my eye. I don't know why, just right there. It doesn't want to stick. I discovered yesterday that this brush actually does a really good job at making it stick there. So I made it stick there, and then I'm just taking it sort of up into the crease a little bit, but most of the shadow's over here. All right, now that I've got that where I want it, I'm gonna go in with this base shadow brush. It's actually the same one that I used in my crease, but this is a bare one, and I'm just gonna use that to blend on the lids just a little bit. And now I'm just going back in with the lightest shimmery color and just kind of reinforcing that, because sometimes the dark ones tend to take over. All right, now that that's all in there, I'm gonna go back with my other base shadow brush and go into that light pink color and just blend the edges of this eye look, because they're getting a little bit dark with that burgundy color. Then what I usually do is I take this brush by Tarte. It came in an eyeshadow gift set type thing one holiday season, but you could also use this brush by Real Techniques. It's the Deluxe Crease Brush. So what I do is I tend to use a cream or skin colored either eyeshadow, or I'll go back and just use the powder that I used on my face earlier. And on me, this brush is the perfect size to go right under the eyebrow, back and forth, and any darkness that got up there will be blended out quite nicely. All right, now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take a Q-tip and just sort of clean up the outer edge in case there was any either fallout, or sometimes I just get shadow sticking to the outside corner of my eye. Now I'm gonna take some liquid eyeliner, and this is Wet n Wild H2O proof, and it is waterproof, which is really nice. This is in the shade dark brown. But, I mean, at least on me, it looks pretty darn close to black. Okay, now that that's done, I'm going to go in with this darkest purple shade and put it on my lower lash line. So the mascara I've been playing with is the CoverGirl Supersizer, the original Supersizer. And Emily Noel recommended this, and it's like one of her favorites. CoverGirl is now cruelty-free. Yay! So we get to try all kinds of new things, but I just don't know that I'm really loving it. My favorite mascara to use is like a $5 mascara, and it's by Essence. And you can get it at Ulta. It's the Essence Lash Princess in the green, well, it's a black tube with the green decorations on it. I don't know if it's just because it's new, but I think the formula is a bit wet. And I'm used to the drier formula of the Lash Princess. And again, it could just be because I'm used to the bristle, the formula, like it's what I've been using. And now I'm going to use the Wet n Wild Ultimate Brow Highlighter, and it's supposed to be used up here, but I use it in my lower inner rim. And it's funny because Emily Noel does too, but I thought of it before I saw her do it. So I am going to use one more eyeliner. It's by Kokie Cosmetics, or Kokie Professional, or whatever. It's the stuff at Walmart. And this is in the shade Champagne, and it's quite sparkly. So I just like to use it like around the tear duct. Okay, we're almost there. I do want to put on a lip product. That one's really pretty. What's that one called? Rhubarb. I think I'll go with that one. But I am gonna line my lips first, because for some reason I have a really hard time putting lipstick on my lips without lining them first. Like, I need lines to stay inside of. All right, guys, that's it. Let's take the hair down. I actually curled my hair today. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up to let YouTube know that you enjoy beauty videos. Also, leave your comments down below if you have any suggestions. Like I said, I'm not that great at makeup, so I'll take all the tips that I can get. I really will. In case you didn't know, I do this sometimes at the end of my videos. If you've made it to the end of this video, leave me this emoji. Have a fantastic weekend, you guys, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.
New videos every Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. In the meantime, check these out and follow me across social media.